Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're just so grateful that you have a chance to spend some time with us today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen in. We've got a really great show today. We're going to be talking about some of the essentials for success in the new economy. Cindy, I know that throughout your business career, you've been constantly faced with challenges and helping other people overcoming their challenges to their business needs. Do you find that these days there are even more challenges than there were, say, just a few years ago?
Well, there are always challenges. They're just different ones, I think, as you go through your career. But I have to tell you, when I have a challenge or a roadblock to a goal or an activity, I get so darn excited. And I know you know this about me, because that means that we're in the position that we love, because challenges mean that we have a reason to be there. Because in your own business or when you're working for someone else, your job is always about solutions, isn't it?
Yeah, and the great part about it is that the more challenges there are, the more opportunities there are.
Exactly. I know some people probably think we're kind of weird with our thinking, but I mean, really think about it. Life wouldn't be life as we know it unless we had some challenges.
Yeah, and the more challenges we're presented with, it often seems that as we find more solutions, it actually gives us a chance to expand our life, whether it's to grow in a new way or to grow a business in a new way. It's really, we have to remember to always embrace it.
And we're not even talking self-esteem yet, because when you overcome challenges, your self-esteem skyrockets. And who couldn't use some extra self-esteem today? Absolutely.
Oh, we're excited also to have a really great guest on with us today. We've got Jim T. Chong. He's known as the Wok Star. That's W-O-K Star. He's a real genius in media marketing and storytelling. And he's going to be talking to us today about how you can start to learn and gain the essentials for success in what he terms the new economy. And as we talk about that, we're going to be hitting on some really interesting topics and talking about the speed of business. We're talking about the need to innovate and how important it is to be responsive. And that's a couple of really big points we'll be hitting on today. So I want you to stick around, listen to what Jim has to enlighten us with today. I wanted to give you a little bit of background about him. He is a publicist. He also does MC work. He's a radio personality. as well as a business and financial educator. And he's written a really fun book that we're going to get to a little bit later as well. And if you hang out with us today, you're going to get a really great gift from him as well that I'm excited to share with you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Jim T. Chong, the Wok Star. Thanks for joining us today.
It is great being here. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really excited about just your show. I love the content. I love Cindy. I've known her for a while, and just getting to see how you are really helping people really advance themselves personally and in business.
Very cool.
Well, those are two things that Thomas and I both love. And of course, Jim, you are an amazing rock star. I can't even imagine how many gigs that you have emceed. And talk about being a storyteller. Every MC you do, you have to be telling a story.
That is so very true. And hey, I want to add on to that. Actually, we are all individual rock stars in our own way. And of course, as we gain a skill, we become truly known for that. But I like to say the rock star is all about me, the Wok Star with the W, Wok Star, WOK. STAR is all about we, and it's not just what we can do collectively. Individually. It's what we can do collectively. So that's what I love about you, Cindy. I know you're all about that, really trying to help people collectively rise together.
Yes, I know I get endorphins when I help people. I don't know how that works, but it's just like magic. And I love to see people succeed. So it's just really easy.
Jim, I want to get right to some of the work that you do. I know you have a really great client story you want to share with us today. Tell us a little bit about how you helped one of your big clients.
Well, there's a lot of things that I can tell. People are very good at what they do, and I'm just going to give you just a couple of things. One is an organization I represent. It is called EasyCard. It is a new digital media platform, and it does a lot of different things. But again, one of the things excellent, did 10,000 cards in the last 3.5 years. But one of the things that I love is really to tell a story about it. The founder, Greg Sanders, the CEO, has a great story because he really started the company because his daughter basically that had passed away was wrestling with something. So he wanted to do something really special for his daughter. He is actually a professor himself, but both his daughter and his son passed away. But he really promised her he would really continue the legacy of telling her story. He originally built the technology to really tell her story before she passed. And so something like that is so incredible, but really helping get the story out and now the story about their clients. The second is a local. I'm just going to use a local person, Kirby Delani. She is incredible. She is a world record brick breaker. She's broken this last event. We set it up over at the center stage over at the Sacramento Cal Expo. She basically broke 280, two foot bricks are about they're about 2 inches high. She did 280 of them in less than 3 minutes to break another Guinness Book World Record. So, but now, how do we do business in the new economy with that? Why do I share the story? Well, a lot of people like Kirby and stuff, she will admit, they don't know how to get that story out. And today's economy is all about really being able to tell that story, get it out, and really stand out in the new economy in a creative way. So we were able to do some things for her that really, again, put her in front of the room in terms of really being noticed. And Kirby's a fantastic person, works with youth. But these are two examples of people that I believe are extraordinary in their own right. And I tell people all the time, you can be a laser. A laser is focused. It really is a great beam of light. But in the forest at night where it's pitch black, you really need a flashlight to illuminate. It may not have that much concentrated strength, but it is the thing that can really let people see where they need to concentrate that effort. So that's what I try to do, is bring people together, say this is where you need to point what you do very well. And, collaboratively, I really believe in the whole concept of bringing things together. A walk, W-O-K, I go by the Wok Star, party like a Wok Star. It's all about bringing great ingredients together to make something better. And so there's a whole story even behind how that was made out, but really helping people create, define, and innovate themselves to really be relevant in today's economy. And, depending on what kind of difference they want to make, to be able to really stand out and tell their story. I believe that's one of the most powerful things you could do in today's economy.
Jim, if you're talking about storytelling, you think that it's a really important thing. I would agree with that 100%. How has storytelling changed, say, in advertising, from your standpoint, say over the last 15 years?
Well, I think it's been very interesting. It used to be about the technology. It was really fun. And, we see things innovate. It's all about, okay, how fast can we do something? Okay, we've accomplished that. Okay, now we have these things. It's incredible. They used to call them phones, but these are mini computers. These are smartphones right now. But just through storytelling, I think it really humanizes things, bringing it back. As much as social media is brought together to help us connect, in a lot of ways, it's helped us disconnect, unfortunately. Families at a dinner table, they no longer have the ability to just sit down and just really enjoy each other's company. On a date, just being with friends, it's all about just being on the phone and being completely connected all the time. Now, that being said, really the heart and essence of what is really the foundation of a lot of things is where we came from. I talk a lot about this with cultures and community. And right now, I think we've seen the result. We get bombarded with so many different things, to do something faster. How many cars can we buy? How fast can we go on social media? How much can we really consume? Now I think people are going not just wide, but deep, the depth of things, right? What is more important, that we can do 5 things, or the fact that we have a single mom that's a mother trying to make it, and she's been able to do some incredible things as a result of just the decisions she's made in her life to really make herself better and therefore impact a lot of other people as a result. I think those are the things that stand out right now, people's stories, why people do what they're doing. So we're getting beyond just a technical aspect, but really getting back, I hope, to the human connection of why we're doing things. And that's really what grabs people's attention right now, right? I mean, if you see a lot of things, we can do things faster, better. Yeah, but you're bombarded with so many things like that. Or does it really make more sense to look at somebody that you see, wow, this person has a really great story. You look at this on social media right now, what's really driving it? It's no longer just the text. It's no longer just pictures. It's actually the videos. Why? Because the videos tell a story. So now people are looking at the quality of the video, but also just what is the story behind what is being created. So that is what I'm seeing all the time now.
Well, I believe it's the story that brings the whole thing that you're trying to convey to life, because, words are words. But when you have a story, you bring people in with you and you take them on a journey. Do you not find that to be true in your work?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what is really neat, because if you know how to engage people, you know that story is always a part of it, because people do want to go on a journey, and we know that we have the end result in life, but it's that journey that really is what makes it worthwhile. And, there are so many people in different situations in life right now. And the more we can relate to people, the more we can make our story relevant to people. That is what I find is the fun aspect of things. It's not just the end result.
It really is. And Thomas is going to take us a journey.
Yeah, Jim, when we come back, we're going to hear more from Jim T. Chong. We're going to learn more about engagement and getting your journey out there in just a moment.
It's hard to listen to the news without realizing we're living in volatile, unprecedented times. Yet never has there been such an opportunity to transform the human condition. As old structures fail, where can we find the guidance to co-create a better way? Find Your Path Home is an ever-evolving, leading-edge information, education, and healing resource center designed to support and guide you on your path to unity and enlightenment. Based on sound principles employed by shaman worldwide, we provide techniques that can support you through the current transitions, offering online shamanic classes, international long-distance shamanic healing sessions, complimentary Mission Evolution radio episodes and Stairway to Heaven TV vignettes, seminars, retreats, and much more. All of this can be found on findyourpathhome.com.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
Path Home Shamanic Art School proudly presents the Gathering of Shaman 2019 Fall Retreat, Manifestation Samhain. Join me, certified shamanic instructor Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magnificent Colorado Mountains this November 2nd and 3rd for a life-changing event. Participate in unique teachings and ceremonies that'll put the power and magic of shamanic manifestation into your hands. Sit in circle with like-minded individuals, sharing group energy and the power it generates. Classes will be held in a facility next to the beautiful, majestic Arkansas River, further empowering the experience. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today. For more information, visit findyourpathhome.com or email touchin@findyourpathhome.com.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. In our previous segment, we've been catching up with Jim T. Chong, known as the Wok Star. We've been doing some really great segment on the essentials for success in the new economy. We've been talking about how the speed of technology has almost become so overshadowing that it's now time to go back to direct human connection with both storytelling and engagement. And in the previous segment, Jim, you were talking about engagement with an audience by way of sharing the journey. In your work, what's kind of the way to lay the groundwork for telling someone's journey story?
You know, I think in terms of somebody's journey story it really comes from the strength of where they are coming from. And, you know, it's really understanding the beginning point and end point. And the strength of the journey is really about, I believe, the challenge that they face. The greater the challenge, the greater the story. And especially today, there are a lot of people caught up with what's happening in the technology world, of course, but there's a lot of people, I would say even the majority of people, that are just using the technology, and they do have a story of struggle, of overcoming. And really the greatest strength within a story is a victory a person can achieve, and also the relatability of that story to the people and their general audience.
Yeah, do you find that a lot of times when the stories are first being crafted and created, that there is kind of that divide between the people who are telling the story and the people who are listening, and that it takes the audience some time to realize that they're capable of the same things that the victor of the story is telling?
Yeah, I think it can come in two different folds. One is just, hey, it's a great story. It's a great story. I'm being entertained. But then there's the other thing. The quicker we're able to connect with the audience that we are talking to, I believe the greater the story, because there are a lot of people that can really understand the journey, and they really are connected because maybe they're going through that same fight. And what I like to do is tell people, hey, somebody's past is somebody's present and future. Somebody's present is somebody's past and future, and somebody's future is somebody's present and past. And so the more we're able to connect with somebody, the more they are engaged and able to relate to that story as it relates to them, giving them hope or wherever that story is leading them.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also the emotional component too, Jim, that when you are telling a story, if you can elicit the emotion yourself and talk to that point in your story, and then the other people that are listening can also feel that emotion, that's when the richest connection can be made. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Well, without saying, the power of the story is the connection, and the connection happens when you're able to basically engage them emotionally in what's going on, right? And so, like I will tell you, when I do a Facebook post on certain things, the things that we see on social media are the things that engage us emotionally. Food, right? It brings out different memories. It brings out thoughts. It brings out excitement. Even things that one of the most powerful things that I love to do now is really post pictures of my dad, because it does evoke emotion within the hearts of people, and they can understand having somebody you love that's basically aging and dying. People get it. That really draws people in, and it really is also for the provider of that information. In a lot of ways, for me, it's a healer as well, a way to heal through my journey.
Very therapeutic, exactly. Therapeutic.
Excellent.
For sure.
Jim, you spent quite a bit of time with a book that you've written. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's interesting. My book, I've been in several different books, and, a lot of people, they have their book ranked as a top seller and so forth and so on. I've always been a collaborator. So I created my first collaborative book called Breaking Barriers, Decisions that Elevate People from Ordinary to Extraordinary. And it really is all about collecting people's stories about their journey, about something they needed to overcome, something that held them back in life, but also how they overcame it. And there is a caveat to that. There are some people that haven't completely overcome, and that was okay too, because I wanted to give them a chance to be able to share their story from their vantage point and be really authentic with where they are at. And actually, if you look on my Facebook page, it's really interesting. Even today, somebody posted, "Hey, Jim, I was going through some stuff. Thank you so much for telling me about your book." And in this case, I provided her with a book, and she was going through her brother who's actually passing away. And she said she found a couple stories that really inspired her. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want a story to just tell a story. I wanted it to be able to inspire people, be able to really create an emotion, and also hopefully give people hope where they feel like they don't have hope. So that was the whole purpose of that.
I love that. I really love that. And breaking barriers is what we're always talking about with all of our guests on the Magic More Success radio show, because that's what seems to be our history. That's how we define ourselves, right? The big challenges that come up, and then how we overcome them, or how they change us and how we change based upon them. So if you take a look at history, it's all about the big challenges and what happens, how you respond to them.
Yeah, that is so true. And let me tell you, there's a second book that actually I wanted to put out this year. I couldn't do it yet because things have to be right in terms of the elements of people. The first book I actually had, just to round it out, credible people that are millionaires, a couple celebrities. I have Jim Stovall that wrote the preface. He actually does television for the blind, because he himself went blind. He had Raquel Welch in his last movie, James Garner first movie. So very, very well known in his circle. And, he provides the network. A lot of the captioning that you hear is probably from his network. So he's a mentor of mine. But this next book takes center stage because the world needs some heroes. It's really interesting because, I realized, wow, I'm also a part of my journey. And even though I've seen a lot, Cindy, I know you've done a lot, even for me, I didn't feel quite ready, even though I've been able to be engaged in some spectacular things. And, one thing I see is that everyone, there is this thought as well. And this happens a lot with people in the military. I talked to Chris Lambert, who serves veterans or combat veterans. And, a lot of these stories about heroic stories are awesome. But the problem is that it makes some of the people coming back from the military that really hasn't done something that heroic feel a little down sometimes, even though they play a central role. They hear about these people that throw themselves on the grenades and stuff too, which, the reality is most people don't really experience the war, and it makes them feel like less than, and they feel like they have to paint this picture that they are more than where they're at. And I bring this up because even in a stage of our life, whether we are breaking barriers or being able to get to that next level, taking the center stage and being that hero, that's okay. We are where we're at. We don't have to pretend we're somewhere else. We know in this industry, a lot of people want to position themselves as experts, especially in advising and stuff. We see this all over the place. But the reality is some people are just beginning the journey. Why not just enjoy where you're at? We know that you have to build that credibility, but no shortcuts. It is that journey that makes your story worthwhile and also relatable to people. Whether you are on the top of the food chain or even on the bottom of the food chain or in the middle, that's okay. You're at where you're at, but there are people that will relate to you. And that is what I think also creates that strength of the story. And that is the thing that people are really gravitating towards, not just somebody that's just done it, but people that are currently in the fight as well. So wherever you're at, just embrace it and really be able to channel your energy to be truly authentic.
Well, that's such a good point. And the one that I would like to get some input from you on is I believe that the energy that we each have connecting with another person with that energy that they have creates a third energy. And whether you're a seasoned professional or new in the business, as you were just talking, I think what's even more important is to be able to get with someone who connects their energy with yours in a way that you can make a difference and you can achieve results you're looking for. So what's your take on that, Jim?
Absolutely. It's very important to connect with the people with your same energy. And this is very different because, maybe a different thought process. There are people that you're going to be ahead of. That's just really true in life. I don't like to judge myself, better or worse. I just look at myself. But it is true that you have three groups of people that are not where you're at and they need to excel, to get to the next level. There are people that are your peers, and then there are people that are beyond where you're at. Obviously, I believe you take the time to be able to help those. You learn the most yourself. It's very enriching to know that you're accomplishing something. You have the peers which have the same energy level as you to connect with. Those are the people that are going to get you, going to be able to relate. But then at the same time, to be able to reach out to the people that even have a stronger energy level than you and just have an ability to be able to, people talk about the vibration, raise your vibration to the next level as well. And when we look at it that way, it's really interesting because we can position ourselves with almost anybody and they play a role. We just need to be able to find that role.
And we do, and it is fascinating. So, Thomas?
Yeah. Jim, stick around with that thought. We'll be back in just a moment on the Imagine More Success Radio Show.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomena, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
You're back on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Previously today, we've been talking with Jim T. Chong, who is known as the Wok Star. He is a publicist and a wonderful master MC as well. He's also a media and radio personality, and he's been sharing some really great content with us today about how you can be successful in what we term the new economy. We've hit on a few really big topics like creativity and innovation. Jim, there's another topic that we'd like to talk about today, which is leadership. Tell us a little bit about how leadership affects the potential for really growing your business.
Yeah, well, leadership is really a pretty deep topic, and in the past, it used to be all about the driver, the person that can make things happen. Then it became about the person that was able to help other people. But kind of like what we talked about the prior segment, we are really going into what I believe is team leadership, this whole phase of really leveraging. And it's not about any individual. It's really about surrounding yourself with the right people and pretty much knowing what our lane is in terms of other people's endeavors and your own endeavor. And it is all about being able to position yourself properly to leverage and achieve something big. So, for instance, Cindy is a phenomenal coach. I don't consider myself really a coach from the true sense of the word. I believe Cindy would, definitely far surpass me as an expert in that arena. But if I tried to take on that role rather than just pass it on to her, that could be a mistake, because I could be not really giving people the maximum value of a coach, a true coach. And so being able to leverage people that are around you in the proper way is so very important in leadership. So leadership is based on certain different laws. And, I know some of these laws are so very important to being able to really be able to maximize your ability and to be able to achieve something together.
Very well said, Jim. I really think that part of the leadership role, and the biggest part, is being the visionary. And I love your words of leveraging the people, because the visionary sees it, and the team leader, manager, or whatever title they're given, or what I liked what you said was the driver makes it happen.
That's absolutely true. And one of the things that's really important to identify as well is that we all have to be able to assess where we are really at. Leadership is not a title. It's not just a position. It really is who an individual is. And we have Mother Teresa, for instance. She's somebody that is a natural leader in what she's known for. People will stop and really pay attention because she does have influence, and
Yes.
we have to not just move ourselves to the front. We can, really the true leaders can sit back and be very comfortable in their own skin, knowing that they really want people in their life that can teach them something more. So they really welcome it rather than try to push themselves to the top. Because at the end of the day, if you can't deliver anyway, people don't see the result. They're going to be not as apt to follow you to the next endeavor. So leadership right now is so key. And in today's economy, it's not just about really what you're able to accomplish. It really is about the person. People will follow people. And you think about it, right? No matter what Bill Gates says, if he says, I want to be able to help caterpillars be able to grow faster so that we can have a better economy, people are going to jump on that because Bill Gates said that, right? And it is really about just how we position ourselves, especially in this new economy, to be successful. We talked about having your own story. We touched on creativity and stuff, but really being able to be able to develop that character that is a true leader. But that takes understanding what a leader really is all about. It's not just about saying, this is what a leader does, therefore I do it. It really is your mindset, the biggest thing. And really, there's a lot to it, being able to prioritize. I make mistakes all the time by spending my most time doing the things I enjoy doing rather than the things that really will yield the result. And I always catch myself needing to focus on, like the Pareto principle, the 20%, of the people that need my help, or 20% of the activities that will produce the 80% result. And it's easy to get fooled by the 80%, trying to take care of the 80% that really only provide the 20% result. Not to say we judge people. I help everybody, and I myself get help, but it really is being able to focus on the things we need to focus on. And usually that is the people that will be able to magnify and understand what you're saying, not trying to help those people that really don't understand that you're trying to drag to the starting line to get to the finish line.
Yes, and one of the things that you can use to get around or get past the judgment thing is I look at things in a different perspective in that I'm assessing. Mm-hmm. And assessing is very different than judging. I have no judgment, but as humans, we have to be assessing things every day of our lives.
Right.
We actually had Sandra D. Robinson on our last show, and she has an amazing equine assisted learning center in just outside of Houston that she uses to help teach leadership. And we were actually having a part of our conversation where she was explaining that a horse is a great kind of very large mirror for someone who is working on leadership, because often people who are leaders, CEOs, and people who are high up in businesses are her clients. They'll come in and their first instinct is maybe to try to bully the horse, and the horse will not respond to that. But when they show true leadership, when they lead from a place of calmness and awareness, they will find that the horse will respond to them. And, that's a big thing, I think, to bring into the conversation is, how are you showing up as a leader? And are you inspiring people instead of trying to drag them along or to whip the minions, as it is?
Oh, the little minions. I mean,
yeah.
Minions are so cute, especially Steve or Kevin. And what you said is so very apropos. Today, just this little part here is really important, is that it really isn't about having that foundational plan that everything looks great and this is the best idea. When you think about it, people are doing some crazy things. But you know what? I'm part of a technology company called Last Mile First. So you look at lastmilefirst.com. We're being benchmarked against companies that are 10 million, being funded $10 million, $50 million. Now, that doesn't mean anything in the scope of where we're at. But the whole thing is that it's amazing, these endeavors, that people are following an idea, but then they start following the people that gain the credibility. And now what that person says is almost like the Bible in terms of that industry, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think it's about learning how to really pivot, position yourself in a good way. And leadership, that's such a big, broad topic, but there are specific things you need to focus in as a leader to be able to gain that respect, not just the idea, but who you are and the way you bring it about to get people to follow you.
Well, and here's the most important thing that Sandra D. brought to the table last week, and that was that the mares in the herd are the leaders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think in America, we could take a big lesson there, because I think there's still only 2% women in the CEO position of the corporations in America.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And that's to get over the stigma of who we, visualize, and just some of the habits of who we basically see that are successful. And Cindy, you could probably comment in terms of this whole dynamic of the new economy, but also what women can do to get to the next level. You probably have some great thoughts on that.
Well, I really think the whole bully versus influence and inspire is the key to just about anything besides even in a business, because like they say, you can get a lot more from honey than you can from not.
And that is true when you're talking about women. Let's just face it, women have an advantage because they do have that influence. They are prettier. They have more. They give out a different aura that is all about inviting. They're very, very personable as a rule. Not to just stereotype, but there are certain stereotypes we have to accept also that are true. They're not just stereotypes; they are really true. And so we have to play to the strengths. But I think that women are when we really look at them, women versus men overall. I personally would concede they are better marketers and better salespeople overall. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, it's been my experience.
But that's a fact, right? That becomes a fact.
But there are, I don't want to discount males in our society either, because I know some outstanding male leaders. So right. I don't want to have anybody walk away with the idea that, women are the only ones, because I know some women who aren't too good at leadership too.
Right. Yeah, there is an individual.
It's an individual thing, but I think that, as a country, we're coming around slowly.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think having empathy is a big part of leadership as well, and a big part of also the idea of storytelling and creating a journey style story to share with other people, because it's once the audience has the empathetic feelings about your story that they can then transfer it to their own life and see themselves as being a part of that story or having a similar experience. That's when you gain this amazing communication and connection between person who is advertising, the person who is marketing, and the person who is receiving the advertising and the marketing.
Such
Right.
great points, Thomas, because then that empathetic leader can put it all together and create the team environment, whereas sometimes with the bullies, you can't do that.
Very true. That's a very big job. We're going to be talking more in the next segment about creativity, innovation, and leadership as we continue our conversation with Jim T. Chong, as we talk more about the essentials for success in the new economy. So do stick around with the Imagine More Success radio show.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide. They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by rel-mar, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to rel-marzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world, interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hides' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
You're back with the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Cindy, we've had a really great selection of conversations today. We really hit on quite a few topics, and they all really have to do with operating in the current economic environment that's around us, as well as the business world. And, you know, I know that you've seen and had so much influence on people's businesses and work with so many clients and making big shifts. The conversations that we're having today, is this the kind of conversation that happens often, or conversations that need to be happening more often?
Well, you know, I love talking about business and management and leadership. It's just in my blood. And it just depends on the person, because some people have to be ready to shift and ready to see. And what I find mostly when I'm working with people, the most challenging part is for them to see, which is why you need someone to bounce your ideas and issues and challenges off of so that you can see. Because, you know, the old adage is, you know what you know what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know.
That's very true.
And that is why coaches have work, because people don't know what they don't know and can't see what they can't see.
And now we want to bring back Jim T. Chong, who is the Wok Star. He is a massive publicist. He helps people create media solutions to reach the next level of success, especially when you look at the challenges that we're having in marketing and advertising in the current economic model that we're living. Jim, what are your thoughts about evaluating and understanding the types of media that are available to, say, small businesses today?
Here's an interesting thing. It used to be that just even placing an ad in a newspaper would be really expensive. It really is very expensive. But you used to be able to get a really big bang for your buck on published medium. Basically, I'm working with an organization called the American Martial Arts Alliance Institute. That's with Jesse Bowen, Grandmaster Jesse Bowen. They publish a book every year of probably about 150, 200 big martial artists. We're creating the biggest directory in martial arts history, potentially, coming up this year. But, we look at all the media that we have available. We get on social media. We get on a lot of these different platforms that are available. And I do want to mention a lot of platforms are available to you, even as a small business. You can get on Facebook. You do interacting with people. And that's why we spent so much time talking about your personal story and everything, because it's really about how you position yourself in this economy here today. And the media is available. We have radio like this, getting on your show is obviously a plus. A lot of people don't understand the value of radio, but here's the thing. We get inundated with so many different things. We have to see what really works, but it's not about being on one of them. It's about being on all of them. People hear, for instance, myself on your radio network. I appreciate that. Here's the reality. We get bombarded with so many different things. They may not listen to that specific medium, but it's not about that only. The Marketing Days medium is saying, what are you doing? I say, I was on Cindy and Thomas's show. Have you seen it? Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then people that know they are your network, or they know your show, it's gonna give me a certain level of credibility. They might not even know who I am or whatever, but the fact that I was on your show adds a little positive kudos. Then they might see me on Facebook. Oh, wow, I see you frequently on Facebook. Okay, something might be happening here. Now, then they all of a sudden hear me on another radio show. Then they see me do an advertising to something. Then they hear me talking about this in another medium. There are so many channels, Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms that you don't even have to pay for that are available to you. But let me tell you this. Just because they're there doesn't mean that you don't need to use them effectively. Cindy, case in point to you, you are a coach, a master coach in what you do, Cindy, decades of experience. It's crazy for people to think that they can really accomplish success without having somebody to hold them accountable just because they have the tools available to them. People need to be able to reach out to people that are doing it, so they know where to point the gun, so to speak, to be able to hit the target properly. And it's kind of like me saying I'm a professional photographer because I have a phone. Now, I have done photography, but by and large, you take any real photographer, they're going to outshine a person just with a iPhone or something, even though iPhones do spectacular things, because they're going to know the tips. They're going to know the techniques. We can save so much time just by having somebody point to the right medium. But to answer your question, I've named some of those mediums that are available, and then higher end mediums, which when you tap into professionals, they're going to be able to direct you to those and help you strategically use it. And by the way, don't spend a lot of money on things until you know what you're looking at, because I've seen people spend, and Cindy has too, thousands and thousands of dollars, but not really know how to use it. It really is. There are no shortcuts. Talk to the experts if you are not an expert yourself, but then find the tools that you can use. These free ones are great places to start. Just posting a quick video, getting it in a few different social mediums are there. I tell people 3 things you got to do. It's all about frequency, how often it is, the duration, how long it is, and the strength of the message alone. So those are 3 things that will keep you going.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about your Easy Card. Can you share with us a little bit about what that is about and what they're going to get in your free gift?
Yeah, in the Easy Card, you're going to find out a little bit more about what the Easy Card is all about. The free gift actually will be available tomorrow, if not today, because I know they were working on some things. But if you go ahead and peruse our Easy Card, right, we're going to give you just a segment that talks a little bit about the tools that you need for the new economy. We talked about some of them, some of the social media things that are relevant, but certain things that can really accelerate your presence, your marketing, your story very quickly. So that is what we're going to be able to do. But the Easy Card itself is built on the phone platform. It allows you to do CRM or customer relationship management right on there. Everything can be on the Easy Card. It's your hub. We have somebody from New Orleans that's very, very experienced in terms of developing a successful catering and restaurant model. And he's looking at it. He saw it. He goes, oh, my gosh, this could be the hub for everything. The Easy Card can serve as a hub that you can text to people. They can see it right on their phone. It's built for the phone. They can register for whatever you want registered for. They can help tell your story and branch them off into wherever they want to go if you use it effectively. So it is a very reasonable card that can replace websites, literally replace websites and a lot of the medium here. Because why? They're connecting to those mediums if you know how to to utilize it effectively. So that's what the Easy Card's all about.
Wow. Pretty impressive, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, is that something that you actually utilize to help clients with as well?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, if you take a look, I intentionally do not create a URL forwarding to it because I want the Easy Card name to be there. The capital E, capital Z, easycard.com/Wok Star. And we teach people to use that as a hub. Yeah, absolutely, what they do. But it's so new. Again, people are getting used to just even using something different, let alone all this. But pretty much we've taken somebody with a $20,000 website, put it together for $1,000, $2,000 literally. So It's pretty amazing stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, with the price of websites and all the bells and whistles, that's a great value.
Absolutely,
Jim, for the person who's a small business owner or a relatively new business, what would you say that they can do today to start to make headway in telling their story in a way that's really palpable and really reaches a great audience?
Right. Well, a couple things, One is that really decide what you're going to do, whatever medium you decide, whether it be write a book, whether it be put it on social media, whether it be do a video. Contact myself, contact Cindy, contact somebody that really could help you construct your story and get it done. And I would say personally, take action, set your intention, and just do it. So many people say, oh, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. 5 years from now, they're still wanting to write a book or I want to do this or that. Right, Cindy?
Right.
Just
That's
do
right.
it. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Even if it's, it could be a one-page thing. Get it out there. Start telling your story. Start building it. And, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't eat an elephant by opening your mouth really big and just eating it. You do it one bite at a time. Do it. Set your intention. Plan those little goals and do it. But one thing I will tell you, don't do it alone. Find the right people to surround yourself with that can point you and help hold you accountable. That is so very important in anything that we do in life.
Very sage advice.
Exactly.
Well, guys, today you've heard from Jim T. Chong. He is the Wok Star. He is a marketing, media, and storytelling specialist, and he works as a publicist. He is available. Do check him out at easycard.com/Wokstar. That's WOKSTAR. And check out his free gift that he has to offer as well, which is all about finding success in the new economy to help you find a way to increase your business and to find a really great way to reach the audience that you want to reach in a way you'd love to reach them. And his free gift is actually called the New Economy Survival Kit. And again, it's at easycard.com/Wokstar. And if you'd like to listen to some more of our really enlightening and fun interviews on the Imagine More Success radio show, go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can get access to our previous episodes with some really fantastic interviewees who gave a free gift in every single episode and who are also sharing their knowledge and their expertise in various fields that relate to business and to personal wealth. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can reach the goals in your life, do check out findhiddenmoney.com. Findhiddenmoney.com is the place where you will find the Goal For It course and the Goal For It series of courses, which will help you reach and achieve the goals that you want to set for yourself, that are the big goals in your life. And we want to thank you again for joining us this week, and we hope you'll join us again next week on the Imagine More Success radio show, because we want to remind you to realize your dreams and to imagine more success.